Every single day, TSA confiscates over 10,000 items from travelers at airports across the United States. And the majority of those people had no idea that what they were carrying was even on the list. Here's the thing that makes this worse. TSA doesn't give your stuff back. There's no lost and found. There's no come pick it up later. It's gone. And some of the items on today's list are worth hundreds of dollars. I've seen people lose expensive power banks, kitchen tools they packed by accident, and even personal care items they've been traveling with for years. All because the rules quietly changed and nobody told them. That stops today. In this video, I'm going through all 15 items that TSA is actively confiscating in 2026, including number 8, which is the one that shocks almost everyone the first time they hear it. Stay until the end, because the last few items on this list are ones that even experienced frequent flyers are still getting wrong. Real quick before we start, if this is your first time here, welcome. This channel exists so you never get caught off guard at the airport. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. TSA changes their rules more often than most people realize, and I cover every single one. All right, let's get into it. Item number 1, oversized liquids. Number 1, and yes, I'm starting here on purpose, because even though everyone knows about the 311 liquid rule, it is still the number 1 most confiscated category at TS every single year. The rule is simple. Any liquid, gel, aerosol, cream, or paste must be in a container of 3.4 ounces or less. All containers must fit in one clear quart-sized zip bag. One bag per person. What people keep getting wrong in 2026? Peanut butter, confiscated; hummus, confiscated; yogurt, confiscated; jam, confiscated; spreadable cheese, confiscated. If it's soft enough to spread or pour, TSA treats it as a liquid. Doesn't matter if it came in a solid container. Doesn't matter if you brought it before and it was fine. The rule applies, and it will be taken. Item number 2, high capacity power banks. Number 2, power banks. This one is costing travelers serious money in 2026. The FAA limit for lithium batteries in carry-on bags is 100 watt-hours. That covers most standard power banks, the 10,000 milliampere hours to 20,000 milliampere hours range that most people travel with. But here's the problem: the higher capacity ones, the big brick-style chargers, laptop power banks, and anything marketed as a high-capacity device, those are often 100 watt-hours or above. And those get confiscated at the checkpoint. Not checked, not held, confiscated. Here's how to check yours before you travel. So you look at the label on the side or back of the power bank. It should list the watt-hour rating directly. If it says 100 watt-hours or below, you're fine. If it says 101 watt-hours or more, do not bring it in your carry-on. You also cannot put oversized power banks in your checked luggage. Lithium batteries are not allowed in checked bags at all. That means if it's over the limit, it simply cannot fly with you. Item number 3, sharp objects. And before you say obviously, hear me out, because the items causing issues in 2026 are not the ones you'd expect. People know knives aren't allowed. That's not what's getting confiscated. What is getting flagged? Box cutters packed in a craft supply bag, razor blades inside travel toiletry kits, embroidery scissors packed with hobby supplies, letter openers forgotten at the bottom of laptop bags, small pocket knives clipped inside jacket pockets. These are not intentional. That's the point. People pack these items without thinking, go through security, and watch them get thrown away. Scissors with blades under 4 inches are allowed in carry-on. Scissors with blades 4 inches or longer, gone. The fix is simple. Before every trip, do a full sweep of every bag, every pocket, every pouch. Not just the main compartment, every single one. Item number 4, certain food items. And this one surprises people every time. Certain solid food items are being flagged and confiscated in 2026, not because they're banned, but because of how they look on an X-ray scanner. Dense, compressed, or layered foods can block the scanner's view of what's underneath them. When a TSA agent can't see clearly through your bag, they pull it for a manual check. And if they can't quickly identify the item, it gets removed. The foods causing the most issues right now: fruitcake and dense baked goods, meat especially in bulk or vacuum sealed packs, chocolate, particularly large solid blocks. Canned goods. These almost always trigger a secondary check. Fresh fruits and vegetables traveling from certain regions, especially internationally, can also be confiscated based on agricultural restrictions. The rule of thumb: if you're bringing food, keep it simple and loose. Avoid anything dense, compressed, or sealed in a way that blocks visibility. And always check the agricultural rules for your destination if you're flying internationally. Item number 5. Firearms and ammunition. Now, firearms are not automatically banned from air travel. You can fly with a firearm legally, but the rules are very specific, and when those rules aren't followed exactly, the firearm gets confiscated, and you could face federal charges. Here's what's allowed: unloaded firearms in a hard-sided locked container. In checked baggage only, never carry on. Ammunition must be securely boxed and also in checked baggage. Here's what's getting people in trouble in 2026. Forgetting a firearm is in a bag at all. This sounds impossible. It isn't. It happens most often with range bags or backpacks that double as everyday carry. Loose ammunition found anywhere in carry-on, even a single bullet, results in immediate confiscation and possible fines starting at $4,000. If you are a firearm owner, before every trip, treat every bag as if it could have a firearm in it. Check every time. Item number 6. Self-defense items. This catches a lot of people off guard because many of these items are completely legal to own and carry in everyday life. At the airport, different story entirely. Pepper spray, not allowed in carry-on, period. It is allowed in checked baggage if it's under 4 fluid ounces with a safety mechanism, but not carry-on. Tasers and stun guns, not allowed in carry-on, allowed in checked baggage only. Brass knuckles, confiscated, no exceptions. Kubotans, confiscated. Tactical pens, depends on the agent. Borderline every time. Self-defense keychains shaped like weapons, confiscated. The pattern here is clear. Anything whose primary design is to cause harm is going to get pulled, regardless of your intentions. If you travel with any of these items in daily life, build a habit of packing them in checked luggage or leaving them at home on travel days. Item number 7. Alcohol over 140 proof. Most people know you can bring alcohol on a plane, but there is a hard limit that almost nobody knows. Any alcohol with more than 70% ABV, that's 140 proof, cannot be transported in your baggage at all. Not carry-on, not checked, nowhere on the aircraft. This affects certain high-proof spirits, overproof rum, grain alcohol like Everclear, and some limited edition spirits that tip above 70%. Below 70% ABV, you can pack it in checked luggage within the TSA liquid guidelines. Mini bottles under 3.4 ounces follow the same liquid rules as everything else if they're in your carry-on. The number to remember, 70% ABV. Above that, it does not fly, literally. Item number 8. Lithium battery recall devices. Number 8, and here it is, the one I told you about at the beginning. In 2026, TSA and the FAA have been actively enforcing a ban on specific recalled lithium battery devices, and travelers are showing up with them every single day without knowing they're on the recall list. The biggest one that's still catching people out? Certain older models of hoverboards and self-balancing scooters. Specific laptop models from major brands that were subject to battery recalls. Some older Bluetooth speaker models. Certain e-cigarettes and vaping devices with non-removable batteries that were flagged for overheating risks. Here's why this is the one that shocks people. These devices aren't obviously dangerous. They look normal. They might work perfectly fine. But if the model number is on the recall list, TSA is required to confiscate it. Before you travel with any older electronic device, do a 30-second search. Your brand name, your model number, and the words FAA recall or lithium battery recall. 30 seconds could save you a $400 device. Item number 9. Sporting equipment. Specifically, items that athletes and sports travelers pack without thinking twice. Because at home or on the field, they're completely normal. Baseball bats, carry-on banned, checked baggage only. Golf clubs, carry-on banned, checked only. Hockey sticks, carry-on banned. Ski poles, carry-on banned. Martial arts equipment, including nunchucks and throwing stars, banned entirely from flights. Lacrosse sticks, carry-on banned. Pool cues, carry-on banned. The pattern, anything that could function as a striking weapon regardless of your intention, goes in checked luggage or it gets confiscated. If you're traveling for a sport, always check in a dedicated sports equipment bag, and always verify the airline's specific oversized bag fees beforehand, because some airlines charge $75 to $150 extra for sports equipment. Item number 10, tools over 7 inches. Number 10, tools, and specifically the 7-inch rule, which is one of the least known TSA rules and one of the most consistently enforced in 2026. Any tool that is 7 inches or longer in its longest dimension, when measured from tip to tip, is banned from carry-on baggage. This includes screwdrivers, wrenches, pliers, and hammers that are over 7 inches long. Tools shorter than 7 inches can go in carry-on, but they're still subject to agent discretion. What's getting confiscated most often right now? Tradespeople who travel for work and pack their tools by habit. DIY travelers who pack a small toolkit for a home project and throw in a full-size screwdriver or wrench. Campers packing multi-tools with oversized components. The rule of thumb: if you're not sure about the size, check it, and if it's work-related, just put it in checked luggage. It's not worth losing a $50 tool to save the checked bag fee. Item number 11, certain medical devices and supplies. Now, most medical supplies are allowed, and TSA is generally accommodating to travelers with medical needs. But there are specific items that get confiscated when they're not properly documented or packed. Needles and syringes, allowed, but you must have the corresponding medication or a signed letter from your doctor. No documentation, it can be confiscated. Ice packs and gel-based cooling items for medications. If they're not fully frozen solid at the checkpoint, they're treated as a liquid and must comply with the 3.4-ounce rule. Certain CBD and hemp-based products, even if legal in your home state, can be confiscated if TSA or local law enforcement determines it doesn't meet federal standards. Liquid medications over 3.4 ounces are allowed, but you must declare them at the checkpoint before screening. Don't put them in your court bag and hope for the best. Take them out, declare them separately, and you're fine. Item number 12, wrapped gifts. This one is heartbreaking when it happens, and it happens a lot around the holidays. TSA cannot scan through thick wrapping paper clearly. If an agent flags your bag and can't identify what's inside a wrapped gift, they will ask you to unwrap it. If you refuse, or if you've already checked it and it's in your luggage, they will cut through the wrapping themselves to inspect it. Your beautifully wrapped gift, torn open at the checkpoint. The simple fix: never wrap gifts before traveling. Pack them unwrapped and wrap them at your destination. Or use gift bags instead of wrapped boxes. They're much easier to open and reclose without damage. Item number 13. Large quantities of cash. This one gets into legal territory, so I want to be very clear about how this works. There is no law that says you cannot travel with large amounts of cash domestically within the United States. However, if TSA discovers a large sum of cash in your bag and it triggers a secondary screening, law enforcement can seize the cash under civil asset forfeiture laws if they suspect it's connected to criminal activity. You don't have to be charged with a crime. You don't have to be convicted. The cash can be taken, and getting it back is a legal process that can take months. The amount that most commonly triggers scrutiny, $10,000 or more. If you have a legitimate reason to travel with large amounts of cash, business transactions, family emergencies, whatever it may be, carry documentation that explains the source and purpose of the money. Bank withdrawal slips, a letter from your business, something that establishes a clear and legal context. Item number 14, e-cigarettes in checked baggage. This rule changed, and a lot of travelers still don't know. E-cigarettes, vaping pens, and any battery-powered smoking device must be in your carry-on baggage. They are not allowed in checked luggage. The reason: lithium batteries in the cargo hold are a significant fire risk with no way to respond quick. In the cabin, a malfunction can be addressed immediately. So, what gets confiscated? E-cigarettes found in checked bags during screening. Those get pulled. And the e-liquid cartridges, those are subject to the liquid rules. Over 3.4 ounces in your carry-on, confiscated. The combination that most people get wrong: they pack their vape in their checked bag thinking it's easier. It's found in screening, confiscated. Then they land without it and have no idea why. Carry on only, always. Item number 15, disguised or novelty items. And this one might be the most interesting one on the list. TSA's official policy is simple. If an item is designed to look like a weapon, or if it could reasonably be mistaken for one on an X-ray, it gets confiscated. Doesn't matter if it's a toy, doesn't matter if it's a joke gift, doesn't matter if it's obviously fake to a human eye, because on an X-ray screen, it isn't obvious at all. The most commonly confiscated novelty items in 2026: toy guns that are realistic in shape and size, gun-shaped lighters, even if they're clearly a lighter, knife-shaped letter openers, grenade-shaped stress balls or keychains, sword-shaped bottle openers, pistol-grip phone cases, believe it or not. TSA agents make decisions in seconds. If something reads as a weapon on a screen, it gets flagged, and then it gets taken. If you own any of these items, leave them at home on travel days. No novelty item is worth the delay, the confrontation, and definitely not worth missing your flight. Alright, let's do a fast recap. The 15 things TSA will confiscate from you in 2026. 1. Oversized liquids, including foods that count as liquids. 2. Power banks over 100 watt-hours. 3. Sharp objects, especially the ones you forgot you packed. 4. Dense foods that block the X-ray scanner. 5. Improperly declared firearms and loose ammunition. 6. Self-defense items like pepper spray and tasers in carry-on. 7. Alcohol above 70% ABV. 8. Recalled lithium battery devices. Check your model number. 9. Sporting equipment like bats, clubs, and ski poles in carry-on. 10. Tools over 7 inches. 11. Medical items without documentation or declaration. 12. Wrapped gifts that can't be clearly scanned. 13. Large amounts of cash without supporting documentation. 14. E-cigarettes and vapes in checked luggage. 15. Novelty items designed to look like weapons. That's the list. None of these confiscations have to happen to you. Now you know. If this video saved you from losing something on your next trip, or if it just gave you something useful to think about, please hit that like button. It takes 2 seconds and it genuinely helps this channel reach more travelers who need this information. And subscribe if you haven't already, because I post new travel tips and airport updates every 2 days. The next video is already up, and trust me, you'll want to watch it before your next flight. See you there. Safe travels.